So listen up and stay tuned. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 6 of Dance Biz
Already.
and Cafecito. Yes, episode 6. So excited today because this is a very special episode for me because I have the Unmuted team in the house. For those of you that don't know what Unmuted is, we're basically Sam, JP, and myself founded a content agency / crew where it's / crew. It's a content crew, not a dance crew.
But it could be.
But also,
But it could be.
We are also dancers. So we just turned 2 years old. We're about to celebrate it officially in February. And I brought them to the podcast because I want you guys to hear the stories about how all of this whole stories and journey started. And I think you're going to get a lot of value of by hearing their stories of like their personal journeys of how they went from whether it's dancing into content creating, photography, etc., or vice versa. Thank you for being here, guys.
thank you for
Thank
having
you for
us.
And this is hilarious.
That's going to be
'cause,
cut in, so it's going to be a little shorter, so it doesn't look like we're going to have a little pause.
No, it's not.
Wow, that took me a while to register.
It's not. I think this is gonna be a really funny episode.
I think so too.
Because
So we've been hostage here for 4 days. Please save us.
Send help.
because this is how we normally are with each other, and it's like hard to get all of us focused and on the same page at all times. So let's see what happens.
At the end of this episode, if you listen to the offer code, you could follow us and, get discount photos. You just have to hear the whole episode so you could hear the secret code.
Did we discuss this?
Yes.
When?
I'm going to say it in Morse code as we're...
If you can figure out the Morse code that JP's gonna be doing throughout the entire episode, then you get a discount in photography.
That was a hint.
With JP.
With JP.
Because he just decided to make this up.
Clearly.
All right.
Anyway. All right, so who wants to start? Oh my God, this is awesome.
Wow.
We just can't stop laughing at each other.
Do we
Sam doesn't drink
Yeah,
cafecito.
I was about to mention that right now.
I know
She's
you're
looking at us awkwardly
I'm like-
as we sip our delicious cafecito.
Yeah, I don't doubt that it's amazing. I just don't.
You're just here for the biz.
I don't want to prove myself.
you're
I
just here
really
for the
don't want to
biz.
prove myself.
I do. And I do. It was
JP is
Thanksgiving
trying
yesterday.
To fast.
Today is the
Trying to
29th.
fast right now.
So yeah, my eyes twitching because the third coffee cup I had today.
Oh
So
my
let's do this.
Okay, how about we start with Sam?
Oh my. What do you want to know?
Okay, so
Everything.
Sam, for those of you that do not follow Sam on social media, she is a break dancer. She's one of South Florida's only Bgirls. On top of everything else that you may or may not know of her. So I think you guys need to hear how she became that. When did it all start for you? How did this happen? How did you end up here today?
Honestly, I'm still trying to figure that out. But from what I recall, as far as me becoming a Bgirl in Miami, I feel like I have to start from the very beginning in order to get into this.
Go.
Because it's not going to make sense if I just go from the breaking journey. But basically, I was...
This is like a flash round.
This is my life right now. I'm about to give it to you.
Whoa.
It's happening.
I'm sweating already.
Yeah, it's intense. So basically, I was a competitive gymnast for 11 years, and I decided to take on dance classes in the middle school because I needed to improve my gymnastics floor routines so I don't look like a robot, And I entered one middle school for magnet dance and then a high school for magnet dance, and I learned how to dance through the school with different guest teachers that would come, and one of them is Amanda Tay, which you guys know if you're listening to this.
Shout out.
Yeah, and you're in a Miami dancer, you know for sure who Amanda Tay is, and she's one of the first people who I ever got to experience as a dance teacher and taught me a lot. And inspired me, honestly, because she's amazing. So from there, I graduated high school, and then a month later, I decided I wanted to be a heat dancer, and I auditioned, and I made it. So I was the second youngest heat dancer at the time in 2009 to make the team. It was me with another girl, my fellow teammate, and everyone else was like 25 and older. So that was interesting. And I realized that year of doing the heat that it wasn't for me. It was amazing. I learned a lot from it, professionalism, like that organization's amazing. So I learned a lot. I have a lot to say about that later. Maybe we can talk about that. But I'm sweating right now.
That'll be in the Samantha Lugo episode.
Wow.
Yeah. What happened? Is that what you just said?
No, I said wow.
Oh.
Wow.
So
Wow.
moving forward after that, I
Wow.
decided that I wanted to take my dance education further, and I would go to auditions at this point, and one of my first gigs was actually with you, Sonja.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
A music video with Kahende.
Oh my God! Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
I
shout out
thought
to
you already
Kahende.
been working.
No, I mean, that was my first gig ever. That
Damn.
music video with you and Francesca.
Like outside of.
No, like I was like 17.
Okay.
Yeah, we were both really young. I was
Super
like
young.
19. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That was before the heat and all that stuff. Yeah, because I was still in high school. So
Yeah, because now you're jumping. You see,
I'm
I was
so
at
sorry.
the heat.
I'm sorry.
and now-
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay. Sorry. There's a lot
Wow.
of
You see, you
details.
confused
I'm
6
so
of our
sorry.
viewers
It's a-
already.
I hate you, JP. Anyways, so I decided that I want to go to more auditions and incorporate my gymnastics. So there was a casting call for a Venus commercial for
I remember that.
They were looking for a Bgirl.
Yeah.
They said specifically a Bgirl, but they looked for any type of person that could do tricks, honestly. And I decided I wanted to go, so I already knew some B-boys in the scene because of other friends and relationships. So one of them was Bboy Lego, and I asked him to train me for this audition specifically. And it was interesting because everything that he taught me, like I picked up supernatural, and it was just like a mixture of like what
Shout
I
out to
already
Lego.
know.
Shout out
Shout
to
out to
Bboy
Lego.
Miami,
The
Florida.
Miami OG.
How are we gonna shout everyone else? And then you say Lego, you don't say shout out to Lego. Come on.
Gotta put me out there. Thanks.
JP is gonna be hating
I
on
know
Sam.
exactly.
He's
No, you're
instigating
literally
me.
talking about Lego. That's enough
By
of
the
a
way,
shout
this
out.
is normal dynamic that you're seeing.
Instigating me always. Let me live my life.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So anyway,
I
so
just want to be authentic.
I just want to be authentic.
Pretty good so far.
Yeah. So he taught me a round that I could use for my audition, and I went to audition. Obviously, I didn't get the gig, but after doing that, it made me realize that like instead of just doing this for work, I actually wanted to invest my time and learn a lot about the hip hop culture here in Miami. So I immersed myself
Wow.
in the culture.
Immersed. Oh,
Oh, don't break the mic.
And
And at that point, I was like, what? I think I was only 20, like 19, 20. And yeah, so I started training with Lego at his house in his living room. Shout out to dancers that have like a living room dance studio. It's the best. And I entered my first battle like a couple years after that. But honestly, it was like really scary because at that point I realized I had to pick one or the other when it came to industry choreography and then learning how to break and getting into that culture, because it's like you can't do too many things without like really being full out in one of them. Like you have to. There's no way you can handle time doing both, unless like you've been doing it for a long time, like I am now, so I can juggle. But at the time, learning how to break and being a part of the culture when it comes to the battling, it was really difficult for me to continue to work as an industry dancer. So I did take a step back from working for a little bit. I did things here and there, but I was mostly doing breaking gigs. And being, at that time, even still now, the only Bgirl in Miami, a lot of the work I was getting was mainly breaking. Because people started knowing that, like, oh, there's a girl in Miami that could break, like, what? So I'm super grateful for that too, like with the crew, with iFlow. Shout out to iFlow. Shout out
Sam,
to...
wait, move the mic like more this way because you're kind of hitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
With your
How are you
head.
comfortable with this?
Stop doing that.
And actually, can we? I'm sorry. Just
Yes, let's
maybe
help
the other
Sam.
side. I don't know.
This guys, you don't know
Can you even see
what
her?
we just went through setting up for this episode.
For Sam to
It
slouch
was-
even more. Like, I'm kidding.
Like setting up all three of these mics for
Maybe, like,
us
here?
was hilarious.
So,
Okay, careful, don't like
Is that good?
disconnect the
I
mic.
don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
So, what was I saying? Oh, shout out to iFlow.
Put it down because now she's gonna be like
But do you have to like?
there. Okay, good.
Okay. So, shout out to iFlow for putting me down with the crew in, I think it was like 2012, I believe. And Super Mario and Lego being my mentors at that time because I was able to learn a lot from them and other people as well, but mainly them. So, and they put me down a lot for work because, you know, we're like one of the only crews in Miami that when it comes to like industry work. But I'm trying to think about what else to tell you because at this point.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
you
What do you
break.
mean? There's
Oh,
so
okay,
much.
okay. So
You haven't even gotten into the good stuff.
I know. I'm
For
sweating.
real.
Oh my god. So intense. Okay, so basically I started breaking with the crew and working with them. Did a lot of battles. I remember it was like 4 years straight that I was like going to practice at like 10 o'clock at night and not going home till like 6 in the morning.
I remember, like, whenever I would come to visit because during that period of time, I was living in LA, and I would come to visit you, and you would just take me to your practices.
That's all I did.
And I couldn't believe it. Be like, wait, you're going to practice at 10?
Like I had no
what
life.
time are we going to be done?
No life. Those are the FIU days. We would break into
Yeah.
FIU, by the way. I do not recommend this to anybody, but we would break into FIU's dance studio and practice, and we would be there all night. But honestly, like as a dancer or anyone doing anything new for the first time, like there's no other way that you could do it. Like you have to fully commit and fully invest all your time because you're not gonna learn or you're not gonna get what you want trying to make it fast or take shortcuts. Like there's no way. So 4 years went by really fast, and then I realized the downside of that was that I wasn't focusing or at least putting a piece of myself into other things when it comes to longevity because I got injured when I was breaking, and then that opened my eyes to like, oh wow, I can't do this forever. So what do I do now? What's my plan? Of course, I thought about going to school for radiology and to work with like cancer patients, giving them chemo. It's like this other. We'll probably talk about that another time.
And the military.
I
Never
remember-
Oh
forget
my
the
God, I
military.
Remember all these phases
She
of
pulled me
Sam's
to
life?
the
I was like,
side.
"How to do what?"
Yeah.
She legit pulled me to the side of practice. This is back in MVSA.
Oh my
And it was
God.
like an hour and a half conversation. I couldn't even stretch. I don't think I practiced after that because I was so stressed out. Because I was like, wow, Sam's going to the military.
You were that stressed about it?
Yes. I was like, what?
That's the thing about JP. He always like has his emotions low key. Like
Yeah, I didn't
you can't
know.
tell what's happening.
I mean,
What do you mean?
He's like, I couldn't practice after. We're like,
I
what?
didn't know it was affecting you like that.
Yeah, well, you're crazy.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. I was going through it that time.
Sam, first of all, you in the military, like
What?
let's talk about any situation that could happen there.
What do you mean? I could be in the military. I'm built for that.
No, you could physically do it, I'm sure.
But
I'm waiting
Anyways.
for like, but
I know. I'm
Anyways.
like, what are you gonna say?
It's not my story, it's not my
The people
story.
want to know. Anyways.
why didn't you go to the military, Sam?
All right. So fast forward. And now we're
You
gonna
get
do some
that?
ASMR.
And now the special segment brought to you by. Oh my God, she's trying to do ASMR. This happens with everyone in every single episode.
real?
I'm not kidding. Like ASMR is such a thing, and people start getting like, they start wanting to do like any sounds.
I
That
don't
they've
have
seen.
anything.
I think it's gonna eventually happen for real. Beard ASMR.
It should just be different
Beard
episodes. Like
Scratching.
we should have like 5-minute segments. And this is me pitching something randomly.
Here we go.
This is what-
You
this
should
is
have-
how
It
it
works,
is.
guys.
Exactly.
5-minute segments of something like, all right, 5-minute segment of chugging coffee, and then we have to
That's
like.
funny you say that. We literally
just
Sam
talked
and I
about
had
this.
that conversation, not about chugging coffee, but
Anything, no,
about
anything, yeah, yeah.
things, yeah, like bringing in segments. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
We'll see. Anyways, so the military.
Wait,
Why didn't you go to the military?
wait, but I didn't finish.
Oh,
No, I know.
Continue.
Yeah.
JP, he's trying to speed it up so we can get to
No,
you.
no.
We're gonna get to you, bro. Okay.
What?
So, basically, I got back into choreography and decided to I don't know. I just decided to like focus on doing more choreo gigs, but also having my breaking on the side while I was injured. I had a crazy injury, and then something happened where I realized, or I freaked out. Oh, I lost it.
No, it was kind of weird.
why? Just leave it. Just
It was-
continue on.
The whole time
I had
she
a
was playing
paper.
this little paper.
I had a paper that I was playing in my hand because it's like my nervous tick.
I tried to take it away
Give
from
her
her,
another paper.
and then she gave me this look of like, no. So like, I gave it to
So,
her.
anyways, never gonna finish this because it's wow. All right. Awesome. Well, I don't know what this is.
Can I be a
I gave her
co-host? I
flowers.
think I could be
A co-host?
A good co-host.
Good.
We could talk about that offline.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So one year I had an unexpected fallback, and I freaked out, and I could not foresee anything more than just me going to the military at that point. I was like, you know what? I'm going to the military. People go all the time. They make money. They have benefits. So
Not a bad thing.
it's not a bad
It's
thing.
not a bad
It's really
thing.
not. And you know,
It's just I don't see Sam as going to the military. Not anyone
But
else.
you know what's
Personal
crazy?
It was
JP
just
opinion.
Sam. I don't
No,
want to
but-
knock down the military. Let me just get that right
we
now.
support it. We support it.
Love you, Delvin. Delvin recently went.
Yes.
You know?
Our
He's
Yes.
awesome.
Our
Yep.
friend slash
Yo, he's
amazing
big now
dancer,
too.
Delvin.
Yeah,
But okay,
so
okay.
like it's a normal thing, you know. But at that time, I guess the people around me, my friends and family, were like, you're not gonna go. And I decided to shared this to JP and Sonja, and I don't know how exactly it happened where we came up with the idea of Unmuted. I think
We
it
were-
was you. I think you said that you wanted to do.
Well, okay.
It was a mix of things.
Yeah, but before we get into that story, how did you start taking pictures, period? Because honestly, I don't remember when that happened. I just remember because I moved back here, and I just remember you got a camera and you were taking pictures of Renata.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we talked about a unit that happened. But before we get into that, like, how did you even start taking pictures? Like, why did that
I got
happen?
into photography honestly because of Renata. She like forced me. So I have a friend named Renata. Shout out to Renata. I love her.
She'll
Hey.
be here soon. I'm
Yes,
interviewing
yes.
She's
her
good.
this weekend.
She's amazing. She's a part of the team. She's awesome. But she had a clothing line called Immaculate Streetwear at the time, and she was like a pinup model on her own outside of that. So she just needed someone to take amazing photos of her because she's very ahead of times. So when it comes to being an influencer and all that, she was doing it years ago.
Which is why I'm having her in the podcast.
Yeah, you guys really need to
OG.
listen to her because she has a lot of knowledge when it comes to that. And so she hit me up and she was like, I told her I got a camera, and she was like, okay, we're gonna take pictures of each other. We're gonna practice. And I was like, I don't want to take pictures of myself, or I don't want you to take pictures of me, but I'll take pictures of you. And she was like, no, you need pictures on your Instagram. So she forced me to like, get all dressed up, and she would shoot me, I would shoot her, and we would just both learn with each other because she didn't know as much either at the time. So we were just kind of like learning as we go. And then I don't know, it just turned from one, I guess, year to the next. I was doing it, I was getting better, and then we started shooting for her clothing line, and basically all of Immaculate, if I don't know if their page is still up, but that like all the pictures are from me and her when we would shoot. And then I decided that I really liked it and I could do this as far as like Instagram photography, because honestly I am not an amazing photographer
JP's
when it
What
comes
are you
to
talking about?
JP, okay, so Sam,
downplay
for those that
yourself.
don't know Sam,
Oh my God.
Sam always like puts herself out there as if she doesn't know anything.
Oh my God.
Which is one of the reasons why I personally wanted to start Unmuted, is because this is my personal, from my perspective, like I felt like I was surrounded, and I still feel this way on a daily basis. I felt like I was surrounded by people that had a lot of potential, but they didn't see the potential in themselves. So I was like, yo, if these two people want to get real serious about this, I know that with my experience in business, I could push them to like do something legit out of it, and therefore all of us have some sort of income coming in through from our creativity, like beyond dance. And that's really like where I got inspired to do Unmuted. And there was a whole like personal story behind it that I haven't really told on the podcast. We can get into that in a little bit once we really like touch the like when Unmuted happened. But Sam is always being like, nah, I don't really know how to do photography. And we're like, you've like shot all these clients. Nah, I don't really know how to do fashion. And then we like see how she does it. Like, nah, I'm not really good at breakdance. Wins battles. Like literally our whole life with Sam is this. Us being like, no, Sam, you
and then
do
it's
know
like,
what you're doing.
oh, I know what I'm doing. But then this person comes and she's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And still does it anyways.
It's like this whole like, yes, wake up. You do know what you're doing, Sam.
Thank you. Guys.
Anyway.
The worst person ever.
So Sam.
Ooh, I could ASMR crack.
Oh, here we go. Oh my God. ASMR episodes coming soon. Oh.
5 minutes straight.
Knuckle cracks.
5 minutes
by
straight.
JP. Anyway, so Sam was taking pictures for fun, and then all of a sudden that led into something more serious.
Well, I would promote it, and I remember people started like hitting me up, like, I love your photography. How much do you charge? And I was like, wait, what? Like, you want me to shoot you for real? I
was like, Sam, you need to charge him at least $50.
Okay.
Then Sam started shooting everyone for free. I'm like, what are you doing? This is good material. People pay for this.
I think it's like the cycle of every photographer, because then it's
Right?
like,
You go through
what do you mean? I have a
When do you know
camera.
you're
No, I mean,
worth
at first I was
paying for?
exactly like that, because I was like, I have a camera. I guess I take pictures. But it's like, oh shit.
I take pictures.
I
I'm
take
pretty
pictures.
good at this. Like,
I shouldn't be editing for 3 hours straight
This is a
for
really
free.
good conversation, actually, because I don't think this applies to only dance. This applies to any creative outlet. Like, if you draw, if you sing, if you dance.
Know
like,
your worth.
When do you know that you're worth it? That is like really hard. We started, Cultura and I started
That's
talking
true.
about this a little bit. Like, we touched the subject a little bit, because with her, I asked her the question of like, when do you know, like as a dancer, like when do you know you're worth it? And she was like, you have to be valuable and prove that you're valuable.
Exactly.
So like you have to train to become valuable, blah, blah, blah. So I guess like for you guys, it's like in photography, like you have to shoot enough to a certain point where if people are hitting you up and asking you if you can shoot them, that should be not a
Solid
red
sign.
flag, but a positive sign of like, oh shit, maybe I am worth it.
Yeah.
You know, and then go from there.
I think though for me what was difficult about having people ask me to like basically as a service, like, hey, I'll pay you to shoot me. What was challenging for me was the fact that like I know so many other photographers outside of dance that, you know, they have a studio, and the fact is that they charge a lot, but it's because they're worth it, and the things that they offer are worth it for that rate, you know? So for me, it felt, you know, coming from the breaking community, I didn't want to disrespect anybody. So it was really hard for me to grasp, like, okay, how am I going to do this? What's the selling point? Like, what's the niche? But then realizing that, like, Instagram photography is a thing. And obviously now it's even more of a
Because
thing
when
than
we
before.
started 2 years ago on
was
Muted, and
just
we were all
starting.
shooting Instagram for like photography for Instagram was really just starting.
Exactly.
It like that's why we started on Muted too, because it's like there's something happening here, and we could really create some sort of business or like fun type of opportunities around it. But now it's like legitimately there's a lot of
People count on
photographers
it.
that's what they do. Like they're known for doing Instagram photography.
Yeah. So I just think that when it comes to like knowing your worth, that you just need to obviously have respect for other people's work and find what you have to offer that's different compared to them.
For sure.
Because anyone can now basically pick up a camera
And shoot.
and shoot.
Yeah.
So
It's like, how do you determine you're good enough to start getting paid, and like how much should you be getting paid?
well, when you have a friend like Sonja and JP telling you that you should be getting paid, that's when you know. Okay.
Oh my God.
Consistency, style, and there's one more thing,
Knowledge.
but I had to remember it. And knowledge, I guess, being
Knowledge
knowledgeable.
for sure. That's important.
But consistency and style, I guess, is like when you start seeing like a picture, and you can start seeing, oh wow, this is how my pictures look all the time, and then plus that the consistency of how you edit or how you do things, then from there you could be like, wow, okay, I'm different, rather than someone who just takes pictures, puts an Instagram filter or whatever the
Exactly.
other filters. Which most people don't do that. I'm pretty sure it's the knowledge out there to be a photographer is so out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think, you know.
But I think that's
More
what
photographers are better.
Unmuted's about, right? Like we're doing what anyone else can do as photographers or videographers, but at the end of the day, we have our own style and our own way of doing things, and I think that's why people know about Unmuted, and it sticks to them whenever they do anything with us. Any experience that anyone's ever had with us, like I'm sure you guys can all agree, whoever's listening, that we have a different way of going about things, editing, whatever it is, you know?
Even from person to person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think something that's really dope about Unmuted too, because we didn't plan Unmuted to be anything. We just kind of were like, this is the name. We're going to try to offer packages in an affordable
It
price.
was
we never
literally the first logo. It was like approved. Like everything was like
Everything just happened organic.
Yo, to be
like-
straight up,
But
because
wait,
like
how did
Sonja's
it
talking
start?
about this part, but like, I remember we talked about Unmuted briefly because we're gonna get into this one later about the whole story behind it. But Unmuted was an idea like on a Friday, and Monday Sonja had like
Yes.
The
the
entire business
forms, she had like invoices, she had all this stuff. I was like, shit,
It's legit.
the packages.
we're doing this.
That's
all
how my
right.
head works. The honestly, it's like throughout this whole, the reason I wanted to start a podcast is because of that. Like I find myself, I'm going through this whole process in my life of like really becoming more self-aware with like what am I really good at and like what am I great at, what's my like, some people call it like what's your superpower, right? Like what's that thing that you have that nobody else has, and then what are, because for people like us, we're good at a lot of stuff, but it's really hard to, when you're somebody like us, like when you're good at a bunch of stuff, how do you pinpoint that one thing that you have that literally nobody else has? And that takes time and a lot of like internalizing things that are happening. So for me, I'm going through this process in my life of like taking out like, okay, I'm good at that, like you said, like observing what are people around me doing and figuring out like that's what makes me special. So I'm going through that process, and one of the things I realize is like going back to what you said of like Unmuted idea happened on Friday, and Unmuted was like Monday, Unmuted was real and
Right.
registered online or whatever, right? The podcast idea was the same way. Like I find myself having the same conversations with dancers at, no matter where I go, where in the world I am, all like the dance community worldwide is going through this like evolution kind of wave, and I was able to pinpoint it. Same conversations, different people, but everyone believes in the same thing. And I was like, instead of having this conversation with one person, I would like to have that conversation available for everyone to be able to get the knowledge. Because what good is it? The same way that with Unmuted, we're like, what good is it that we're great at photography if we can't make money out of it? Let's create a system that's going to bring us money. What good is it that we're having the same conversations complaining about everything that's wrong and like nobody can hear beyond us? Like we're fixing ourselves and we're helping to improve our environments around us, but that's it. It stops there. And I believe that same foundation with Unmuted, same foundation with the podcast. Like I believe if there's a way that you can expand your reach, that's when true change happens within a community. So it's like ever since we started Unmuted, we've seen a lot of like photographers get impacted by what we believe in, and then people that don't, like maybe they never believed, like you, like maybe you never believed you would be able to be a photographer, they have gotten inspired by what we're doing to at least pick up the camera and start like working
For
and
sure,
being
for
consistent
sure.
with improving themselves. And like I feel like the things we talk about in this podcast, it's gonna help create that same effect, hopefully in Miami, like at least in our community in Miami,
Localized.
and then
Who everyone
go from
listening, and which I hope you get the Morse code. Okay.
Don't miss out on the discount.
Yep.
there. Stay tuned.
Free shoot. Discount. My bad. No,
Hit
no,
JP
discount.
up
Discount.
on
No, I said free. Okay, fine.
DM
I gotta
JP
commit.
with the
I gotta
Morse
commit.
code. Anyway, JP, what's your story?
What? We're finished with Sam?
Well, I wanted her to stop at like, and then Unmuted happened.
Oh, okay. You gotta say
She's
it.
shutting me up.
No, you gotta say
Oh.
it. Then Unmuted happened.
And then wait, but hold on. When we still didn't figure out when we talked about like, okay, have an idea for Unmuted, or like.
Well, I think we're gonna do that later, right?
Yeah, we
Is
haven't
that-
gotten there
That's the
yet.
next
Oh.
segment.
Let me go back. Sorry. Okay. And that's my story. Thank you for listening. And here is JP.
You gotta sign out.
Bing,
This
bing,
is
bing.
Sam Ragdoll.
It's your favorite Bgirl. Oh no, I said it wrong. I'm not gonna say it.
Hey.
Oh. And yo, my name is Rag. I go by Doll. Got red hair. And I lost it.
All right. I don't know. Wait, which one am I saying? Like the dance one, or am I saying like the?
I think you should say your journey, like how it actually happened.
Yeah, because I told my whole life.
She literally was like, when I was 12 years old.
How am I 25 and like not that I feel like I've been through so much, but like.
Oh no, I understand that completely.
You know,
And
like,
I think
am I really
wow.
25? Am I not 45?
I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
you guys can see my face right now.
JP's
Tune
a
into the
vampire,
YouTube.
for anyone who didn't know.
I feel
He
like.
doesn't age.
He doesn't.
I hope not.
Well, he does. I've seen his teenager pictures. They're quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
His showstopper.
Shout out to teenager JP. Not even. I wasn't
real.
even a teenager in Showstopper. I just look like one.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
So with dance and photo, I guess I'll mix them both because they happen all at the same time ish, but not really. So around, I was always exposed to like the hip hop culture, always exposed to like the b-boying. I always saw like the old breaking movies, like, and not just the breaking ones, but like the breaking ones, like,
But like,
but like, you know,
The real
you know,
ones.
like Beach Street, you know, like
Yes,
Wild Style, you know, I legit like, I don't know why, I was just always intrigued by that. I was really exposed to that. So eventually, just one birthday, my mom took me to meet Nukri so I could take a private.
how did your
birthday?
mom
That was-
find New Creek?
He was on the news.
What?
Kevin Nukri Sanchez was on
Shout out
was
to
on the
Kevin.
news,
Sanchez.
and he was like, "You want to learn some breaking?
You want to
learn some breaking?"
Oh my god.
Did he
So I
have hair
went-
back then?
No.
Yes.
Oh, he did?
I have a
Oh,
picture.
Yeah, you're right.
I have a picture. It was really
Dang, that was a long
nice.
time
He had
ago
nice
then.
hair. Shout
You
out
guys
to
kinda
Kevin
look like you're
too.
related with hair, both of you.
What, me and Sam?
No, you and New Creek.
Oh.
New Creek with hair.
We just both looked into each other's eyes so deeply.
Wow. I knew it.
I knew you were my
Are
soul
you?
sister.
Well, his birthday is the day after mine.
Yeah.
So
this
we're
is-
basically
it's so
twins.
crazy.
We're basically twins. 4-year difference, but we're there.
So I took like an an hour and a half session. It really was really cool. I didn't go to CAT as much after that, so I kind of just like train at home, whatever it is, and then whenever Saturday my mom can take me, I'll go practice. You know.
I can't even see you. This has been a
Um.
long time ago.
You definitely wouldn't have recognized him.
Yeah, I mean, I had long hair
You
actually.
probably were his best friend and you don't remember it. You thought in your head it's like some other dude.
Oh my god.
No, I think I remember seeing you from the gyms. I bowed a couple of times at the anniversaries, like
See, you
I got
definitely
solo.
see
I won against like
didn't
this
look
older
like
dude. He was
this.
pretty whack, but whatever. I wasn't bad for like a little kid. I mean, obviously bad, but not terrible.
You're not bad.
Anyways, so I stopped for a while. I mean, I liked it, but it's not like it was so open to me, so available to me that I could like just take any moment to do it. So I got pretty involved in school because I was like whatever young at the time, and then that's where I got into photography. At 17 or 16, I got a camera. It was like a school project, and everyone was like, "Yo, you got some pretty dope pictures," and like. They even sent them to like those little like photography competitions, like the school ones, and like I won some. Like it was really like it was a whole thing, whatever. So the next year, I had done yearbook for the school, which is like the most overloading experience, like whatever. Like it was working
I
for
could see
free.
you as the yearbook
I mean, not
guy.
working for free, cause like, you know, when I did that shit,
Oh.
I didn't have to go to classes. I was legit the school photographer for
I
like
could see you doing
everything. I was legit everywhere. I didn't have a senior year in school because I was always out of class doing something else, whatever. So it was really cool. It was really what really exposed me to like communicating with other people and like kind of getting more on top of myself at a young age. I was like, wow, I can handle this, whatever.
that. It's cool.
And learning editing and all that stuff like that, but whatever. By that time, 17-ish, I had already stopped dancing for a while, but there was this fashion show at my school,
Oh my god, here we go.
and you know, it was like the summer. It was like Earth, Wind, Fire, or whatever the seasons. It was the summer one, so I came in as the beach
Wait,
one.
you were a model?
No,
You didn't say
but I
this.
walked, so I was
Oh,
like,
oh
ah ha ha. And then I had like this one little, I don't know, I did this like one little trick because they were like, yo, do a trick, because I remember we used to do tricks, and I was like, all right, look at this trick. And then I did this trick as I did my walk, and I'm walking out. And then there was like this halftime, or what do you call it, like intermission performance.
Intermission.
And it was Showstopper. And a lot of people I'm gonna mention, like, for this story are still very around. Like,
Irrelevant.
Melissa and Vanit, like, are the ones that gave me the Showstopper pamphlet. Like,
That's crazy.
Kevin, I mean, I don't see him all the time, but I see Kevin a lot, you know? Like, it's pretty cool to see all these people that when I started with, like,
They're still
you know?
here, involved in your life, a part of your life. That's crazy.
So, I did this audition that they told me to go to, and I bombed it. I had never danced, like, choreo in my life. Plus, I had already stopped. Like, I had nothing. I was literally just, like, I remember the song. It was, like, this Nicki Minaj song. It was called Beast in the Trap.
Was I not there? I feel
that
like
song came out.
I feel like I performed at that with the crew.
I don't know.
No? I don't know. It was in high school, no?
Yeah, but I went to Goldman. You
I
guys
remember
ain't go to
we used
Goldman.
No? Oh.
You always went to Hialeah High. So whatever, I did Showstopper for a bit. You know, Susie took me under her wing with everyone else. It was really small. I think it was like 18,
crazy.
17 of us.
And now look how big it is.
Yeah.
And we were
Fast
all
forward 10
super
years.
tight. We were all super cool. But in the same time, like, I was going to school. And I was doing photography on the side since I left school. And when I say going to school, I mean like college, because I graduated high school at 17. Didn't go to Showstopper until I was 18. Whatever. So I had a bunch of things happening at the same time. I was trying to go to the studio, which was literally just for fun. I wasn't trying to do anything with dance. I was going to school for advertising, which I got my bachelor. That shit sucks. I'm paying for that shit, yo.
sucks.
I'm still paying for it.
Yo,
I don't know how long.
I remember when we started on Meet It and JP would be like, I would be like, so how was school? He goes, so I taught the whole class today. I'm like,
Oh my
what?
God. Yeah, that's
Like,
another topic.
So the huge exposure I got, like, in high school with the stuff I was doing, I was already so advanced. And then when I was out of school, I was always, like, looking up stuff, learning new things. So by the time I got to, like, real school that I had to pay for,
That to pay for. Here we go.
like, you know, why did I go?
No
Why did I
point.
go?
honestly.
Anyways,
But that's the whole point. I think this is a really good topic to go into because a lot, at least for me, I've spoken to a lot of dancers that are like, all right, it's time to go to college. And then they're like, I don't know. That's why I didn't go to college. But I had more self-awareness at that age where I was like, okay, if I'm going to go to college, okay, this was a long time ago. Times are not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I was supposed to go to college in 2006/2007.
Wow.
And I decided not to go because my whole point of going to college, first I didn't know why I would go to college because I was never exposed to like all my options because I was touring and technically homeschool. Like I paid for my own 11th grade and 12th grade curriculum
Wow.
so I could tour while doing my curriculum. But anyway, I was never exposed to like, because my family members didn't go to college or didn't finish college or whatever. And then once I figure out what I want to go to college for, I was like, I'm going to go to college to open my own dance studio, moved to Miami, worked at like 10
Oh, I
dance
remember you
studios,
telling me this.
realized like all I need to open a dance studio is money, not an education. Like at that point, right? Like studying business wasn't like a cool known thing at that point, right? I didn't know anyone that studied business either. And then I was like, screw it. I'm just going to pursue professional dancing, figure out what to do on the side until I have a better idea of what I want to do. Ended up working at Red Bull. And like being an ambassador, like a Wings team girl for Red Bull is how I discovered what marketing is. This is like in 2008. And like through working and through life experience,
physical
I
doing-
learned more marketing, branding, events production than like any person I ever knew. So like at a very young age, like in my early 20s, I was teaching newbies that were coming into the team how to do like legitimate marketing, branding. Interns that like were already in school or like people that had finished school, I knew more than them in like 2 years of doing brand ambassador, just like learning from doing. So like a lot of people can relate to like, should I even go to college if I don't even know why? And then should I stay in college if I already know more than like the rest of the people? Or like, is it even worth going if I know that the career path that I'm trying to pursue I'm already naturally talented at this. I'm really good at this, and I can teach myself through YouTube. Like YouTube and Google, literally is like the university of life.
Exactly.
You can look up how to do anything, and there's at least 3 different videos that have thousands of views on to teach you how to do it. Literally anything.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I can't believe you went through that experience. And like, why did you decide to stay in college?
So I mean, obviously, like, I'm the first. Not obviously. So I'm the first in my family to get a degree. So it was like, you know, that Hispanic pressure, you know, whatever. Well, I made my own proud, I made that proud, which I'm pretty sure I did. But I always had in my mind, which I didn't say this in school, but when I was in school, I was in the business academy because I thought I was going to do business. But the main thing I was like under the branch, whatever, was like entrepreneurship and learning all that stuff. So I kind of knew I wanted to do my own thing. Not that I'm not good working with other people, but at the same time, like, I'm kind of like picky of what I like to do, I guess, in the same time. So if I had to sacrifice what I like to work somewhere else, I kind of wouldn't want to work there. So I always had in my mind that I kind of would eventually own my own thing. And then when I eventually found out I could do photography, I switched the whole thing, got out the whole program. Like, everything I did was for nothing for those years. I was supposed to get out with this huge whatever. Anyways,
Going in a rant.
yeah. So with photography, I was like, shoot, I'm good at this. I could go to school for advertising, which is not the same thing as photography, which is not going to be the same thing they teach, like in the practice. But it surrounds around the main skill I have. So if I just keep building upon the same skill, yes, I could do that on my own time. But I went to advertising so I could learn other concepts, other things, which did help. And it did help that I, like, from high school, before I even graduated, I knew what degree I wanted. I never changed it. I like stuck with it. And this is for anyone else that's gonna go to like a business that requires a degree. Please go to school because I'm pretty sure you need that shit. But for advertising, for anything creative, is not a necessity if you have the self-discipline, if you reach out, if you
Get experience.
just do everything you can to
I think
immerse
that's more
yourself
valuable
into
nowadays.
that. Yeah.
Like when you go to
Because-
interview, they don't look at your schooling. They
Yeah.
look at
Exactly.
your experience,
So
your
just-
resume.
Literally,
Whatever you're-
the fact that I never went to school, but I think something you're saying is so key, JP, that it's like you need to be aware of how good and how good you are, like naturally skilled, like to a certain degree. But then you also need to be in tune with yourself and be like, how hard am I willing to work? Because if you're just a person that is not good at working on your own to learn stuff, yeah, then you need to either be surrounded by people that are going to push you to work harder, or you need to immerse yourself in an environment, whether that's school or, I don't know, like a smaller, like a program or whatever, that's going to help you develop the skill set of learning and practicing some other way. But if you're not, like what JP said, if you're naturally a freaking hard-ass working person and you can learn easy just by either being surrounded by people that know shit or doing stuff a lot, then there are certain paths of career that you can just learn from putting yourself out there, getting the right job or whatever.
Yeah, so exactly with photography, it wasn't something that I took a class in and learned. It was just YouTube was big at the time, internet was big at the time. Looking at photography magazines, I was actually really into that for a while. Like I don't know, I kind of like saw what was good, even art, even paintings. I saw what was like compositionally good. I think I said it right, and I kind of just tried to emulate it. But, so, also, going back to the school thing, if I did just photography in school, it would have been even more of a waste. So, not even in a bad way, because photography school, I'm sure it's an amazing thing, and I will learn so much more, too. But what I'm saying is, me choosing advertising probably led me into where we are today of Bermuda and knowing more things and everything. But imagine this, as I'm going to school, doing all that, and I was pretty deep into... I only took off one summer, but I went every summer. Like, it was a whole thing. I never took off a semester.
Where'd you go every summer? Sorry, I lost you.
I went to FIU.
Oh,
but no,
you went to school during the summer
almost
too?
every summer except for one.
Wow.
Yeah, it really
I didn't
sucked.
know that.
So as I was doing all that, I was going to the studio at night to go take class. Still having fun with it. And as I was doing that out of school, I was going to do freelance photography jobs and other things. So it was kind of a lot to handle, especially when I was like
So
young and like trying to experience other things, but at the same time trying to like plant seeds some other places, but at the same time trying to have fun by dancing, but at the same time it was too much. Not that I was all over the place, because I knew what I wanted to do, but I was all over the places with how many things I wanted to do. It wasn't, and for dance now, it was a year in, I went to my first audition for Premio, and I made it. And my first artist was a.k.a. Mateo.
Mateo.
I did it with Melissa, which shout out to Melissa, my girlfriend. I did it with John. I did it with like a lot of people who are still here, actually. So I think that is when things started shifting. I was like, wow, you can make money off dance. I mean, me, that I'm 19 now because I started at 18. I was 19. My first job ever, I'm pretty sure I still really sucked because I did.
I think all of us kind of sucked in our first job.
Not me.
So it's like,
There's video. Yeah, I was struggling, but you know, I knew my stuff at least. No, so that exposed me more. So I kind of started putting more, not effort into dance, but effort into, I guess, the intentions behind dance. And this happened every year. Every year we reevaluate. Like, I don't want to like lose that like fun side of it, but at the same time, there's so many goals that I could see that anyone could reach. So I feel like with the short amount of time that I've been doing this, I feel like I reach it too, you know? Photography was something that always came to me easy, and things don't come to me easy, but dance especially, I was like, wow, I want to struggle in something and get good at it. So I've been struggling for years.
I don't think that ever goes away.
No, of course,
actually.
yeah. And then actually I had this conversation with a lot of also younger dancers where they're like, man, I have days where I feel like the best and I have days where I don't feel terrible. And it's like, I have those days, but just trying to enjoy it. Like, whether,
that's
however
normal,
it is,
It's
don't.
so normal.
But like, okay, we're human. We go
Exactly,
through stuff.
yeah.
Like your performance, I'm sure this happens to athletes too, but the difference is like a professional athlete trains, especially like think of like football players or Olympic athletes. They purposely train during horrible weather, horrible conditions of their body. They push their body till they literally black out. My brother was telling me yesterday, like Kobe Bryant, I think, or something, is known for training until he blacks out.
Wow.
Literally, and then pushing through the blackout, and that's how, because he, I guess, wasn't like since a little boy, he wasn't like naturally talented, so his training is what got him to the level. So like we're human, we go through stuff, we have bad days, so yeah, but that's only by pushing yourself through the bad days is that you can come out of it and still either like learn from it or get better or whatever. But if you let your bad day like hold you back or stay on that, like you're saying, like on that decline, nothing good's gonna come out of it. And you just have to accept, like, bad days happen. What am I gonna do to at least keep afloat or push through so I can go to whatever?
And that's
what
pushes
next.
to be better, because you know, that's the curve. That's as soon as people see it's getting really hard, that's when you gotta just keep pushing, because it's gonna happen with anything: photography, a job, dance, breaking. As soon as you get to that bottom curve, and you're gonna go up eventually, but if you never let that chance to go up, you're never gonna get to where you want to go.
I think you just can't have expectations. Like you.
True, I agree with that.
Especially like
No expectations, but set goals. I feel
set
like
goals.
yeah.
But you need to know the difference. Like obviously, as a dancer and a creative,
Yeah.
there's a difference. Like what you were saying with the athletes. Like athletes train and they drill things. So it's like they're doing it on purpose because they want to make sure that they execute a certain way. When you're a creative, you're literally on this journey where you're still finding yourself. You're learning something new every single day, whatever you're doing. You know, even like I said, like you said, photography, dance. So it's like you have to understand what you're doing and the process it's gonna take for you to get to where you want to be, and how as a creative we're perfectionists and we're never gonna be happy. We're never gonna be happy.
Yo, and that's something that's really hard to come to terms with, one, and two, like, use that feeling as motivation instead of like a setback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was watching J-Lo's YouTube series about her on tour, and every show she would kill it and come off stage crying because she felt like she messed up or she didn't do the choreography right, she was off, and everyone around her is telling her like, what do you mean, you killed it, you did amazing,
The crowd
it was the best
loved
show
you.
ever. Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Like, and she's just not, because of, as an artist, she was just not happy because she knows she could do better. So that showed me like, bro, we're always gonna feel like that.
Exactly.
That's
At
never
any
gonna go
point,
away.
at any stage, at any part, I'm
That's
pretty sure.
never gonna go away.
Yeah, and I think the first step into like being a happier person is accepting that when you're creative, or if you don't consider yourself a creative and you just have felt what we're talking about, you have to accept that that's part of the process.
Exactly.
And it's not something bad. Unless, like, listen.
Don't point fingers.
Yeah, but like, unless you've been feeling down, let's say it's been 3 months or 6 months, and literally you're just like stuck in the funk, then you need help. Like, something outside of just being in the artistic funk is happening. And it's okay to take breaks from, like, I stopped dancing. Like, when I moved to LA, I literally stopped pursuing dance. For the 4 years that I lived there, I was pursuing other things, but I felt like a part of me did that because I needed a break. And then throughout that process, I discovered I still need to dance in my life. I don't need to pursue it, but I need to have it in my life. But me taking a break from it for 4 years, like, as a priority is what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't prioritizing becoming a dancer anymore. That break helped me learn more about myself. I just think it's like what you guys are saying. Like, you have to be in tune with yourself. You have to accept it. Don't set any expectations. But always, like, look into, like, where is all of this coming from? Why? And help, like, use it as motivation. Figure out how to use it as, like, a motivation. It's funny we get into this topic because, like, ups and downs, you know how we've been teasing, like, the story behind Unmuted, right? Like, for me, Unmuted literally was an idea that came from a really deep depression. Literally, like, I'm 31. I've been saying this. I always remind people of my age in the podcast because I know that the way that if you just hear my voice or my style of talking is super casual and chill, but it's because I've noticed my brain moves so fast that my words can't keep up with my thoughts. So sometimes I have to really, like, focus, what am I trying to say? Because I already moved on from that thought like 5 minutes ago. But the idea behind Unmuted came from, I moved from LA. I moved back to Miami from LA like 2 years ago or 2.5, whatever. And I was working another full-time job and I thought I was really happy doing it, but I started feeling like really dark thoughts and feelings and just like not wanting to be around people, not wanting to go to the job. And I had already left like a full-time career in LA. Like, I was working for a billion dollar company, Quest Nutrition. And I learned a lot in that company, but the whole experience of what was happening in my life in LA led me to understand that, like, I'm more of an entrepreneurial person that likes to work for myself rather than other people. So when I moved to Miami, I already knew I wanted to pursue doing something for me, rather than like getting paid to come to a job that you're working your ass off, but it's for somebody else's dream. No matter what you do, it's helping you get better as a person, it's helping you learn, but there was always this feeling inside me since I was a little girl that it's like, but what am I getting out of this? Right. And not from a selfish way, but more so like, I see myself, growth. Like, I see myself changing the world one day, and it's like, I don't feel like this is getting me there. So it's like, what do I have to adjust for me to feel that what I'm doing is helping me get to my overall life goal, right? So I ended up getting really depressed in this job that I was working in Miami, and nobody knew. They thought I was happy. And I'm sure even you guys, until I opened up about what was happening, you probably thought I was okay, but I wasn't. And it was more so because I felt like I didn't know where my life was going, and I wanted, like, now that I was back in the dance industry in Miami and like talking to dancers and seeing like what's happening in the breakdancing community, what's happening in dance studios, what's happening in the booking jobs community, like for TV, I felt like there was a lot of things missing. But I couldn't pinpoint what it was or why it was. And then through conversations and meeting you guys and what I said earlier, like, yo, you guys are really good at this. we could all be making money from this. I'm good at branding and business and marketing. Like, if we came together, we could, one, solve the problem of that our community has of like, we all want to be more creative and like, we all want to shoot for our friends. Like, it's just something that we're naturally like passionate about. I want to have conversations with my friends telling them like what you should be doing on social media and blah. Not because I'm telling you what to do, but that's my passion. Like, I like to solve problems and create opportunities for people. Like, that's just how my mind works. So I wanted to do more of that, and then I felt like you guys were at a point where if we really became serious, we could do something dope. So like, all of those emotions, my depression and meeting you guys and going through
Coming
what's happening
together at the same
it
time.
all clicked in my head. My brain works in patterns. Like, when I see patterns, I figure out how things work, and I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm sure when you get inspired to design, you see things a certain way or whatever. Take pictures. Like, your brain starts connecting to certain patterns, and that's how you end up doing your artistic work. For me, it works like that with business and marketing and stories and communication. Like, I was like, yo, if we make all these little things happen, we could all be making money and doing what we love. And literally, all of you guys, like, you guys can talk about how you felt or your experience, because I would love to hear that. But I don't know, you guys were like, okay.
But what's funny is that when you were saying it came from being depressed, that time is when I was depressed.
That's crazy. Unmuted came from depression.
And I was finishing school, so I was like, shit, here we go.
We were all like in a funk, and that's crazy that we all decided to like make a change together.
Yeah.
But I think that's why Unmuted works. Also, like, going back to how you are as a person, how you think, how JP is, how I am. I think we all like balance each other out.
True. I agree. Oh.
What do you call it? Just to do a quick flash round, just to finish up real quick. So as I was doing school, I got into the Marlins. I had auditioned as a dancer / Bboy, which brought me back into breaking, which I had done for years, and got me a bunch of experience to be in front of an audience, to talk to other people, which in my mind, like, when I saw Susie and other people do it, I'm like, damn, I want to go on stage of an artist.
Oh, yeah.
So
We haven't even talked about, like, what are we up to today?
So I know I'm trying to finish that so we can get to the good stuff.
That's what good stuff.
I know, because this is boring. My life's not that cool.
Oh my God, I hate you.
So, Marlins, I did Marlins for a bit, which that's a whole other thing. But it was a great experience to learn what you need as a dancer, which is not just the movements, like everything else, like the organization of even, and the communication, everything, just everything.
Yeah, you need to know
Presentation,
business,
everything. Yeah, I was so exposed to other things that, I mean, I was exposed more when I left, but seeing that prepared me for the other things that I was going to see. So that led me back into breaking, which still at the same time as Marlins, I was still going to school and still doing my photography, which around the same times when I stopped and gave myself like a couple good 3 or 4 years before I met these two to start again. Because it was just overwhelming. I couldn't do it alone. I couldn't do all the jobs alone and edit all the time and go to school and do everything at the same time, that I had to take a step back, because otherwise I couldn't enjoy anything I was doing.
Yeah, you get burnt out.
Yeah, I could have burnt myself out, which I kind of did for photography, but everything else, that was cool. Leave the Marlins. During Marlins, I couldn't train much and dance, so when I left, I was back into training, back at the studio. But then that's when I met Mario and iFlow. Shout out to them again. And that's when they took me in. So I was going to the studio.
This podcast is brought to you by
I was going
the
to the
breakdancing community.
The whole community. I was going to the studio, taking class, going right after. And if you don't know iFlow, they train to like
Like I said, you were there till like 5, 6 in the morning.
now to like 1, 2, but
Yeah,
still
because
that's
we
enough.
need a little, control.
So it was like going late, back to back, while still going to school the next morning.
I don't know
and
how
then
you did
finally-
it. I mean, I did it, but I don't know how you went to school the next day.
School sucked, man. Especially knowing that I didn't, whatever. Finally, we had this whole Unmuted talk. I finally graduated. Unmuted things started happening. And then we'll get into how that started. And then now I'm still dancing. Now I'm not going to school, so now my time is like more allocated to other things I want to do more, which I wish it was my whole life. But, so now it's just leading to other things that I could do in the future, just leading to other opportunities, which I have now. So That's my life. When it comes to starting Unmuted, I guess we could like segment off to this now.
Yeah, go.
For me, like when it came, so because also it comes to the story. When I came back from photography, stopping for a while,
Unquote, he said.
quote unquote. I mean, it's just happened by chance, and I knew I wouldn't start again if I wasn't doing it for other people. Like I have this, and that is not just dance. It's just creatives in general. Like, not dance. It's not just photography, not just dance. It's creatives in general. You can't do anything alone.
Yeah.
You can't. You can only go so far alone. And it's not that you need others to go with you, but it's just like I'm sure everyone, all of us, the three of us could be amazing alone, solo. But together we're we're this whole other like unit.
It takes you to a whole.
So
other
yeah,
level,
like
for sure.
I believe in like collaboration and like in a group, and not just like other things, because other people believe collaboration means free work and other things. Don't DM me for collabs. I get everything almost. Please don't. I can't.
I don't know what's happening.
I will
I'm
not
just gonna
respond
have
to
to
your
listen to
text
this
if
audio
you're
to
saying
see.
collab for something else, reviews, whatever. Hope you know this. Great, I get it all the time. Anyways, so when I always had this idea.
Collaboration. I think we need to clarify this because the conversation keeps coming up. Collaboration means both parties are equally benefiting from whatever it is that you are collaborating on.
Ding ding ding.
I don't care about followers. I don't care about any, like that stuff. Give me something tangible. Give me opportunities that are tangible. Don't give me likes and followers. People have literally told me that.
Yeah, collaboration is business. Like at the end of the day, collaboration is business.
Yes.
Meaning, if you want to get free photos, let's say, from a photographer, whoever that is, you have to figure out first, before even asking them, what do they like? What do they need? What are they looking for? Example, let's say hypothetically, JP loves fashion and you happen to have a connect within a world of, I don't know, Supreme. And you're like, oh, I can get you to connect with my friend who owns this Supreme store and they'll hook you up with some free Supreme dope shit if you shoot for us. Then maybe if JP, that's what he loves, he's passionate about fashion and Supreme, he'll be like, oh shit, let's collaborate. Ding, 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 ding. But then, like you just have to figure out, put in the time to figure out what does the person want / need, care about. If they care about becoming famous on social media, maybe they'll collaborate for free if you are famous on social media and you can get them followers or whatever in exchange. But just figure that out first. That way, both parties happily will want to collaborate.
Yeah, I just believe I'll collaborate with anyone if you just approach me with a cool idea and you get me involved, and then that's collaboration. We're both working to something together. I feel like it's not also just because of time, and I've been trying to do it for a while too, and I have ideas set too, but it's been a while since I've been able to do my own shit.
I know we've been talking about this for a long time.
I haven't done my own shit in such a long time. So I promise you, if anyone would literally be like, yo, I have this cool idea. Like, what would you like to do with this too? Because I know you would do something good with this. I would
honestly,
just do it.
Yeah,
that's a collab.
100%. I've seen some of the collabs you've done, even though they're with your friends, but don't knock the fact that it's a collaboration in the end. Doesn't matter if it's your friend or not. Most of the collaborations that I've seen JP do that I have not been involved in is his friends develop a dope idea on their own and they go up to him and go, yo, this is, and they say it in an exciting way. He gets excited. He's like, I want to be a part of this dope idea.
Exactly.
But he doesn't want to make me look as cool as he makes his friends look.
What are you talking
Personal
about?
vendettas coming out.
If anyone has more content from me, besides PK, it's Sam.
Fan. Shout out to
No, I don't know. No. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
We need
But
to collab.
when it comes to starting Unmuted, I always had that idea. So when I left school, I think I already finished school, right?
Yeah, you finished.
And we were working this job, which I took as just
Cool,
JOB. We're just gonna say job because we know what job it is. We don't need to say what job it is, but it's a job that we all kind of worked together for the first time. Where I met Sonja for the first time, but we all know who Sonja is.
Oh my God.
That's where me and Sam were already in the crew together. But then that's when we started working outside of dance, started speaking outside of dance, started speaking other things, whatever. And through this job, we just saw that we had connected. We had this idea.
Wait, what job was this?
The job.
The job. When we all started shooting together.
I literally did the whole. Is there like?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wait, what?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Sam doesn't remember when I'm gonna start it. What the?
Wow, your story's gonna be so different from my story. Like.
Wait, what job was this?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
No,
matter.
whisper in my ear.
I said it doesn't matter.
Tell me.
So
I wanna keep
like
up.
we could all work good together, and I'm not organized. Sonja's organized.
What's the first client we ever worked for that wasn't officially an unmuted client because unmuted didn't exist yet?
It was our first meetings that we had for our muted client that never existed because we weren't unmuted yet.
Like we were working together as unmuted, but unmuted didn't exist yet.
Don't tell me I drove 45 minutes for you not to remember 3 years later.
I thought I had bad memory.
Wait, I don't remember.
Wow.
Wait, say it in my
my
ear,
God.
honestly.
It doesn't matter.
I want to know now because I can't believe it.
We'll do it off cam. We'll do it off cam.
It's bothering me.
No, I'll write it. I'll write it in the post-it note.
All right.
I'll write it in a post-it note.
So yeah, when
She's gonna remember at one point and be like, "Oh,
Ah.
I showed her the first picture she ever took."
That's exactly what she did.
You drove 45 minutes?
Yo, traffic at the time. You guys wanted to meet. You know that shit was stressful. That took from the soul.
Anyway,
So
so what happened? What was your experience?
Our experience was collaboration, just great ideas and just like flowing thoughts and just action and just like going for it. So I was like, going for it. So I was like, man, I think I could do this again. Also with the pressure.
We all inspired each other and we didn't
to
know
come
until the
back, yeah.
podcast. I knew this was special.
Yeah, like I said before, like I knew I could do photography. Like my first job was as JP getting out of high school. Photography was with the guy from Staying Alive, the BG, Mr. BG. I went to his house, Mr. BG.
Mr. BG.
His last name is BG.
Really?
BG. Yeah, I think they're
The
called
Bee
the Bee
Gees.
Gees. Yeah, you know.
Mr. BG.
Are they all last name BG?
I don't know. But I went to this house. I thought I was going to do some regular job, but I went to Star Island, and I was like, whatever, I'm going to do this regular job. And I'm sitting down, and I see a platinum label next to my shoulder in the waiting room of their giant mansion. And I'm like, and I see pictures of Michael Jackson, and like,
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, whoa, okay, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing?
It's like, this is a real job. This is a job.
So I knew I could do certain things, but at the same time, like the organization, the everything, I get overwhelmed easily. So I knew I couldn't do it alone, and I know what I'm good at, and know I'm not good at. So I waited till I knew I'll be good at something.
I think that's why we
are
work.
good.
Honest, I think
Yeah, I think
because
so too.
we each know where we shine, and we're not afraid to just be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good at following and listening to directions, being bossed around by Sonja. I'm good at it.
bossing people around.
I accept it. I've accepted it for a lot of years. So it's like, I think if anyone feels like you trying to be the best at everything or be the leader at everything, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you're probably gonna be the most difficult person to work with.
Know
with
when to
anybody.
lead
Exactly.
for anything.
Exactly.
Anything.
Yeah.
Know when what.
You're not lesser if you don't do something.
Ted almost killed me.
Oh my god. Ted is my dog. You've heard him or seen him appear in different segments of our podcast.
He's crazy.
But yeah, that's
I love
that's
him
what it is, a
every time.
collaboration. Like
Oh,
just
JP continued.
know when.
We keep interrupting JP's story.
No, it's not my story. It just goes to us. It's like just know when. Not when to shut up. It's like terrible, but it's like
But also,
know when you need to give someone else a chance to. Not only prove to you that they're good, but prove to themselves and work. And you can't do it all alone.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when it comes to being a part of a team, everyone needs to know what their role is in that team. So let's
Yes.
say let's say, for example, let's say you're really good at being a leader somewhere else. That doesn't mean you're going to be a great leader in this particular situation, right? So, like, for me, with my personal experience, what I've learned working with you guys in Unmuted is knowing where my strengths lie, and then when it's time for me to let your strengths shine, right? And being okay with not having to control everything, because in the past with my other jobs, because I've always had a leadership role in my careers, but what this has allowed me to do is know that, like, this is a partnership and all of you are experts in what each of you do, and I need to know when to let you shine in, like, or be the expert in your own thing. So, like, when we sat down that meeting, we all decided, like, okay, you're gonna be the head of photography, because that's really, like, where we all as a team, like, know and acknowledge that you can not only lead on your own, but lead us and, like, teach us and help us get better. And then Sam, when it comes to, like, creativity and bringing all the pieces when it comes to creative art and stuff like that together. And then me, when it comes to the business organizing and kind of like strategy, the overall direction of where we're taking the project.
Straight up, I would look at someone dead in the face. And if they told me I was going to shoot 24 people,
they would have laughed. Oh my God, we haven't even talked about
I would laugh in their face. Me alone, I could probably shoot 3 people, me being organized.
I don't even know, like,
Sonja is so organized
that
that 24 people could shoot with me.
In one day. In 8 hours. In 8 hours.
In 8
not
hours.
even a
But
day.
think about all the Unmuted shoots within the last 2 years.
Yo, within the first
people?
5 shoots, we already had shot 120 people.
That's crazy.
The first 5 times. So for those of you listening and watching that don't really know what Unmuted is, like, yeah, in the beginning we said, like, we're a content team, content agency, but one of the things that we're known for in Miami is because we created this whole thing that, from what I know, it's never been done before. I think we ran out of coffee, JP. I could brew another batch, it's fine. It just takes like 5-10 minutes. JP's like, I'm ready for coffee number 5. Most demanding guest ever.
Yep.
Anyway, we're kind of known in
That's
Miami
me.
because we produce photography events, and, like, what that means is we basically come up with a day that we're all available and we sell it out. So we go, let's say hypothetically, if we shoot every single 30-minute slot, we can shoot, she's shooting somebody, you shooting somebody at the same time, and then they switch. So every single client that comes in that day can get 2 different looks with 2 different photographers. And then they leave with all of their pictures on the spot. So we kind of developed this concept on our own, brainstorming and figuring out, us as dancers and creative, what would we like the photography experience to be if we were the ones paying for it? And how much do we think that package is actually worth it? Because that's a whole other topic of, like, when it comes to your art and your creativity, how much, like, before us, how much it would cost to get headshots, and then if I change or cut my hair in 2 weeks, then I need to pay another $300 for a whole nother batch of headshots. It's like, it's crazy to us because we are the ones paying that money as dancers needing the headshots, or as actors
Like,
needing
we're
the
a part of the
headshots.
industry. So
Yeah, like,
Just anyone now, especially at the statement of, like, how social media is, you could be anyone and you're gonna need anything.
Yeah, like, you just need to keep your work updated, where from whatever it is, if you want to get booked, your stuff needs to be updated. And when it comes to updating your work, it's expensive, right? So we wanted to figure out, how do we all make money while offer the client, meaning you guys listening, something valuable that we feel you could need, or you feel you need, for an affordable price. And then how do we do that thing enough times to where you can keep coming back, because
it's
one, it's
different
affordable,
every time.
and every time you get something new and different. So obviously we're only on year 2. We're still experimenting with bringing new stuff to the table, and that's our whole goal, to be able to offer a bunch of new experiences where we're there for one day for 8 to 10 hours, and we literally shoot 20 to 30 people in one day. Honestly, I've never seen that done before. If you listeners know, or watchers, people watching, know, like, anyone that's doing that, send them over my way, because I would love to, like, see what other people are doing, get inspired to do new things. But that's kind of what we do, like, every 3 months-ish. Come to our events, yo.
yeah, honestly, it's a great time.
You're all invited. It's not only for dancers, it's for anybody.
It's for anybody.
And not just the events, everything else too. You
Yeah,
know, we're
everything
down
else
for
too.
anything. You know, pretty creative.
We think we're pretty creative.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh my god. What?
I was gonna do the authentic.
I'm just
Cute.
trying to be authentic.
Just trying to be authentic.
That's our new thing. Damn, how did we get into this conversation?
Okay, so I segmented into how
started.
muted started. So I feel like I said my part, and we talked about
I
other
said my
things.
part.
Someone just said her part. So
This is my turn to say how
Your
unmuted-
perspective
yeah,
of
I'm pretty sure.
you
it's
said you
your
were
turn.
also depressed, but you didn't say anything else.
Well, I was depressed, and that was the whole military thing when we talked about it earlier. Yeah, it was around that time. And then remember we went to the Switchfoot concert.
Oh my god, when it rained?
Yes,
That's when it rained?
yeah. So it was during that time that I was depressed and wanted to go to the military that Sonja came up with this idea. Or I think I talked to you in MVSA, JP.
Mm-hmm.
And you had already expressed to me about I think that same week that you wanted to do something on your own.
But even then, like that was so long term. I never saw it happening that soon. That I said it, and I just one of those things I wanted to throw it out, put into fruition, because it was something I always thought about.
I remember you were telling me.
But then when it happened, it was like, whoa.
Exactly.
This is kind of fast.
whoa.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get things done here.
Yeah.
What's yours? Kind of fast paced.
So, yeah, I don't know. Unmuted. That's how we started, no?
Wow.
And now, what?
We're both nodding at Sam right now.
Why? Why are you guys nodding at me?
I don't know. Mine was like so heartfelt. Like,
Oh my god.
Sam, I tattooed
said-
your name on my chest.
Oh. For those that don't know, JP really did tattoo my name on his chest.
Yeah.
When? I didn't know.
It's around my nipple. There's
Yeah.
like nipple hair.
Damn, I feel so left out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get you next. On his butt.
Yep.
On his butt. It has to be the left butt cheek.
But like tramp stampy.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Okay, going
Okay.
back to the value of the
Chisel's gonna do it.
conversation.
Shout out to Chisel.
Chisel. Oh.
Oh, Chisel tattooed me too.
Me too.
We had to bring him in to do a podcast.
Exactly.
The Miami.
When
Okay,
B-boys
okay.
become tattoo artists.
So
Coming soon.
that's Sam's story of Unmuted.
Cue the ASM. Wait.
Sam's always going with the flow, guys. Like,
ASMR.
What does Unmuted do to you, Sam? What does
what does unmuted mean to you?
yeah?
Unmuted. Okay. So, not even at first, but always unmuted to me was, I'm really big on just being different and not trying to replicate other things, or I just want to make sure that we give the experience of like something different that no one's ever experienced at all with anything else. So I think that unmuted to me it's a big deal, and it means a lot because each of us are so different. Even in the community of what we do as dancers, we all do the same thing. We all dance with everyone, but at the same time, like Sonja, JP, like we each are individually creative and different. That like the fact that we're able to bring that into Unmuted, to me means a lot, and it speaks a lot because there's so many other companies that are. I know like in LA for sure, there's a bunch of companies that do what we do as far as like unmuted content creating,
Yeah.
the shoots.
We're
And
definitely not the first.
Exactly, we're not
Definitely
the
not
first.
the first.
But
I'm not
I
gonna
think,
claim like we're the first.
No, but I think in Miami we are, because
That we know of.
that we know of. If you guys are out there, hit us up. We would love to collab.
Let's collaborate.
But I think that's why we saw that as an opportunity as well to like come together and do this, because we saw how New York and LA were doing it already, but Miami's always, for some reason, I don't know why that is. We're always like the last ones to like.
They were underplayed. I think that's what it is. They were underplayed.
Yeah.
I think things happen.
There's no
here,
pressure. I think a lot of people are
people
doing
don't find
things
out about
alone too.
mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
People are doing things alone, so I feel like in New York and LA, a lot of things have been established, and there's a lot of like, there's a lot of community there
There's a
for
lot of
everything.
community.
People are
involvement.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
This
again,
is
if you're a
right.
photographer, reach out to us. You know, if you want to shoot.
Oh yeah, we're actually open to.
Oh my god.
Well, not just that, but just like, you know, if you're a photographer, you want to shoot unmuted, I mean, there's days I like to
Maybe we
just
can
shoot
come up with
and
like
just
with an
shoot.
event like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do like an open call.
Like
event.
invite different photographers to
Yeah.
collab with us or
To be a photographer
to
at
shoot
or
me.
one of our
Yeah, or even then, just collaborate. We could talk about. It's just as that's a whole other thing. Let me not get started.
see
We
this
can
is
come
what
up with
happens
so
when we
many
come together.
ideas. Yeah, honestly, we can come up with
Yeah.
a million different things to do.
So I would like to know what's next. What's happening now in your life, and then what would you like to happen in the
man.
future? It doesn't need to be like a 10-year.
In the
thing,
future
but
of Unmuted,
in the future of you as people,
Wow.
you could say stuff with a muted too. I mean,
honestly, that's a really difficult question to answer right now because at this point in my life, I'm 29 years old for
Wow.
everyone who
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
know.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
But with these braces, though, I look like I'm 12. Shout out to Super Dave for
for saying that,
that.
on the live yesterday.
But I think that that's difficult to answer because I'm realizing that I am ever changing and ever evolving, and I'm surprising myself with a lot of things. So, career-wise, right now I'm traveling as a dancer for a reggaeton artist, and I think I want to continue to do that for a little bit longer, but stepping into like creative direction within Unmuted, outside of Unmuted, I think that to me is like, I would be really happy if I did stuff like that because I have so many ideas, you guys already know, of like visual projects that I want to do and things I want to put together so I can show my potential to others, so that way like possibly doing like music videos or anything creative when it comes to like setting up production or whatever.
We have some things in the works.
Yeah, that's something for me that I would love to pursue and get more involved with. So I spoke it. Hopefully it comes to existence.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah, hopefully. ¿Y tú?
¿Y tú qué?
I mean, like, I feel like,
Also, we're all Puerto Rican.
yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God,
half.
we are.
I'm half.
So is
Yo, it's
Sam.
crazy.
I always have to say it.
I'm
half.
Puerto Rican Italian.
I'm 100% Puerto Rican, even though I'm
I'm
the one
half
that
Puerto
looks it the least.
Rican, half Nicaragüense.
You're Nicaragua. You're Nica.
Half Nicaragüense.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I feel like people say it all the time.
So you're like the Indian Puerto Rican. I'm I was supposed to say Spain. Wrong. Completely wrong. What am I?
There's
I feel
black,
like
Indian,
first of all,
and, European.
native. Let's say native because I feel
Native
like
American.
Indian is so problematic.
Yeah. Not in. Yeah, there's black.
And if we're gonna get culture, she's
There's
Taíno.
African
Exactly.
American. Let's be proper, okay?
Boom.
There's African American.
Leave it to me to
in,
fuck it
in
up.
Puerto Rico.
5 minute section about Puerto Rico.
There's either African American, like literally slaves from Africa,
Dead.
or there's they're called Indios Taínos, which is Native Americans, but that
The Italian
were
Puerto
in
Ricans.
Puerto Rico before the island got
The
colonized.
Italian Puerto Ricans.
Spaniard, Italian, Puerto Rican.
And then there's European. There was
Yeah.
French.
There you go.
There was Spanish.
That's what I am.
Yeah.
And then he's just, what is he?
I don't know
I'm a
his
mix.
bloodline.
From my Puerto Rican side.
I have
My
all
grandfather is like the Italian Spaniard one,
You see?
and then my grandmother's like the Taína one, and then from my
That's
dad's
why you look
side,
like that.
they're just they're Nicaraguan.
three. They're just Nika.
There it is.
So wait, what were we talking about? The future.
The
Oh, okay, yeah. So the
Your
future.
future.
I feel like I'm just starting. Not that I'm just starting, but like I'm in the beginning, and I hate that I say I'm in the beginning because it's like, and I don't want to say okay.
Okay, he's definitely not in the beginning.
I'm not in the beginning.
like
Of his dance career.
you've been
He's not.
shooting and dancing
No,
for
no, but-
almost 10 years now.
No, not yet, not yet. Dancing, I just made 7 years.
Exactly.
Wow, 3 years.
3
Wow.
more years and that's 10. You know when you do something consistently for 7 to 10 years, you're a master.
No,
at
I
it.
know. Yeah, I know. At
If
10
you're
years.
consistent.
I know. At 10
That's
years.
crazy. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
students always.
Put in your time. Anyways,
Where you
so for
should-
me, it's
you
like
should
I
be
feel like
really
I'm
good
at the
it.
beginning
if you're
of
naturally
where
talented. Sorry.
I'm at the.
Just exploded everyone's ears.
No, I'm at the beginning of everything I wanted to start at. If you kind of get what I
Explain.
mean, like I wanted to be doing Unmuted for a while, and not that we're just beginning, but like it's happening, and this is our
We
beginning.
are just beginning. It's only 2 years old.
It's only 2 years, but this is still exactly just the beginning.
It's
like,
a toddler.
exactly like
A toddler.
It's a
the things I'm
It's a
doing. Like, so
toddler.
now I'm touring with an American artist. Her name's
Oh.
Ali Brooke. Shout out
Oh,
to Ali
yeah.
Brooke.
Oh, yeah, JP
She's really
on
cool.
tour.
She's really awesome.
Wait, can we talk about how you have taken photos of her and they're amazing?
Taking a couple photos of her.
You can
yes,
find them in our
yeah.
unmuted page because JP never posts anything.
Yeah, and I think that's huge. Like
Yeah.
a dancer being allowed to take photos of the artist. Like,
She's super cool. She's probably
That's
one of the
awesome.
coolest people I meet. She's really nice.
It's good. Yo, we need to post the pictures of Leslie. Sam and I toured with Leslie Grace,
That's
and we
right.
went to Spain, and we actually went out in the streets and like photographed each other. And yo, I forgot about that. I need to put that up.
You have
on
the
the
pictures?
unmuted.
You have the pictures?
Yeah, they're
okay.
somewhere in my
'Cause
hard
I
drive.
don't have
You're
them.
like, you have the pictures? I don't know. They're somewhere in my hard drive.
So what do you call it? We're Bermuda, like I said. We're just in the beginning, and this is my first tour. So I'm still at my beginning
That's
too.
crazy.
So for me, it's just like not that I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm just on another level. I also want to start just like, and I'm the worst at saying this. I think I say this every single year. And it's not that I'm too lazy to, but a little bit. I just need to start putting myself out there as a photographer, as a dancer, as everything. I need to start doing my own work. I do everyone's content.
But yourself.
And
That's how I know, but
Leader.
honestly,
And, you know-
that's my problem too. Like when people are like, "Oh, you do content for other people," like they know the people
me
that
see
I do
your
stuff.
Instagram.
Let me see your page. I'm like, do not go off my page because I don't do half the things that I do for other people on my page.
You know what you guys can do though? I just thought about this right now because I realized something. Like with Unmuted, we don't post everything we do. But the other day I clicked the hashtag Unmuted, and you can see more of our work through the hashtag than on our
wow.
page.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe one step for you guys could be if you create your own hashtag, whatever it is you want, like JP Vzzn. You
I
know?
already did. I already started.
And then you start telling anyone you collaborate, like, hey, can you put at least my hashtag? You know, like tag you, of course, but because then you can start without you having to post the stuff. You can just start diverting your customers to your hashtag. Brands do that, bro. Like, yo. Pfft,
So
I'm
here,
blown right now.
here's like
I'm
another
mind blown
thing.
at how good I am with thinking about things.
It's not that I don't want to post my pictures. It's not that I don't want to post my pictures because it's like, you know, some people have amazing shots, and I will do. I keep saying this, but this year, before the end of the year, I'm gonna do a 3-part post of all my favorite pictures I took in the past 2 years of Unmuted.
Before
But
2020.
anyways, besides that, I want to post my pictures. Not that I don't want to post my clients' pictures, all the other work.
No, you want to
They're
showcase
amazing,
yourself.
and it's not even just that, but like with the collaboration. If you
Collaboration.
hit me up with a dope project, I promise you, I want to put my stuff out there too. But I don't want to put my clients' stuff out there either.
Yeah.
Because that's their stuff. And at the same time, like, yes, I know it's my picture. I know I did it. I'll probably put it on my
But
story.
it's their vision.
Yeah.
But I want to put something that is like just strictly,
Represents
you know?
you.
Exactly.
Well, I'm here.
So,
Sam always. The problem is, this is why Unmuted exists. I help them bring their ideas to life.
Honestly.
They don't bring
Seriously.
their own ideas to life. Other people bring their ideas
oh, we
to
just
life.
take really long.
Sonja is the glue
I'm like,
to JP and I. She
No, I feel like for
literally
me, it's like, I will take so much longer
to figure it out.
getting everything ready than I would doing it. You know, I would take so much like what stopped me this year was buying a new camera. Knowing I was gonna buy a camera, and then when I bought the camera, like now I don't have the
Literally
time.
in that situation, like I'm not motivated to shoot.
No,
right
but it's not
now.
even that. You have the camera. Like
I have a camera.
I knew I was gonna buy a new camera, so I didn't do jobs with my old camera because I didn't want to because you know I was gonna have a new one.
anyways, we're talking about the blocks, the things.
No, we're
that
talking about
stop you.
what's coming.
Oh,
So
okay.
now what's
We got
coming?
into a
Now
whole
that,
other
The future of
conversation.
JP.
now I have, like now I'm on the track where I believe I could do the things I want to do. So this year, what's coming is just gonna see more of, wow, my ear just popped. You're gonna see a lot of, I hope you saw that. Oh, I hurt. You're gonna see a lot of things that I do. So I mean, that's what I feel like what's coming. Just more of what I'm doing, just in full
More
force.
vision work.
More visionary work. When it comes to
Yo,
vision too,
work
you
is
know.
that's a dope. That's
Vision
a dope
works.
tag.
Vision works.
works.
Work
Vision
vision.
work.
I don't know. What's
Vision work.
We'll see.
Anyway.
How about you, Sonja? What's coming?
Well,
Besides
I
this
already started my
podcast that we're
2020
talking
goals.
to right now.
So I went through this whole phase recently. Oh my god.
We can't talk. We're dying.
Like we're so hungry right now, guys. I went through this whole phase Damn.
Wow, that's 4 times.
This is my life. Anyway.
So if you got the offer code, it's
RECENTLY.
that is the offer code. If you didn't get in the Morse code from this time,
JP.Vzzn right now. To
the
get your
first 3
discount.
people who actually DM me, I'm not even joking this time.
With a creative
If you made it
idea,
this
not
far,
like,
no.
let's collab.
Okay, yeah, true.
It's not gonna happen.
But if you have the
option,
offer code, if you made it this far in the video, I'm not even joking. She said it. She's not gonna say it again. Gotta go back.
you gotta figure it out, man.
45 seconds.
Anyway, I went through this whole process of refiguring out what it is that I want to focus on in like moving forward in the future. And I deciphered a couple things, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier, where it's like I want next year to be more about authentically me, because like even though we do Unmuted Brand, I feel like the whole purpose of why Unmuted Brand was created, it wasn't to benefit any of us, it's to benefit people like us. So like when we never talk about this out there, but when we do Unmuted things, we're the people that make the least, and I'm the person that makes the least, because I know that what we're doing for Unmuted is more for the community and the overall goal of like taking Miami to the next level when it comes to like an artistic dance centered industry. So like Unmuted is a selfless project for me. Even though I drive it or whatever, I'm passionate about it, so I do it, but it's not benefiting me like my personal brand. And whatever, you guys can send me DMs if you want to know what that means or want to get more into it. But the projects that I want to focus on in the future are things that are more like passion projects per se. So like I started the podcast because I feel like, and I've said this every episode, like dancers don't see themselves as businesses for the most part. Like 98% of dancers that I actually know don't see themselves as businesses or brands. Meaning like your personal reputation, taking it to the next level. And every time I meet a dancer, all I see is a business opportunity. When I meet a person that really knows who they are and what they want to achieve.
That's the marketing in you.
Yeah, exactly. So like I
You
want
just see the
to.
best in everybody. So.
Yeah. So like I want to. That's why I started the beta project. I did the giveaway on social media. I picked 3 people that are specifically dancers in the industry that I feel have the mindset and the work ethic to really take themselves to the next level. So I'm going to be, throughout the whole next year, as long as they let me, giving them free marketing, branding, and business guidance so I could really see what happens when people know what to focus on when it comes to the business aspect of dancing management. So we're going to be working on that next year. So I'm really excited to just see what happens. And throughout that project and live conversations is that I realize all the topics that I want to put out there in the world, which is why I started the podcast. It's a project that I'm really passionate about, but it's not about me. It's about taking the industry to the next level, you know? Like I want people to hear these conversations and go like, yo, I could be making money in all these other ways. Look at how these other successful people have done it, and really just have that clicked and shift in their mindset of like, if I just approach my life from this perspective, I could be more than just a dancer. Because to me, this is a fundamental belief of like my personal opinion. To me, dancing is only a segue. Like you're not gonna dance for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So you need to know that
Unless
from the
you're Lego.
moment you start, unless you're Lego, unless you're Bboy Lego.
You got vitality for days.
Yo, but yeah, but like that takes a lot of training and mindset and focus and execution to be able to dance at any age, you know? And I don't think you can't. I'm not excluding people that want to dance for the rest of their life. I think that's okay if that's what you're passionate about and that's what's going to keep you happy for the rest of your life, right? But I think for the most part, when, like I said, 98% of dancers I meet on a daily basis, they are great at other things beyond dance. They just dance because they love to dance, but they don't realize, they get so focused on dance that they don't realize that if they wanted to, they could start doing more right now. So like those are the conversations I want to have, and that's really what I want to
Maximize
focus
potential.
on. Yeah, I want people to figure out like how to tap into their true potential beyond just dancing, and then become more successful, knowing all the different ways of how they could do it.
Shit, I want people to look at us and be like, yo, that guy from Hialeah, he made it.
That guy,
I can make it too. And I didn't make it, but I'm not
like,
there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm just saying, like,
But yeah,
if we
it's
could
true,
do it,
like,
we're not that we're nobody, but we're anybody. Just like anyone is anybody.
we're normal people, and we're just doing our best to try to make it within what we love and what we know how to do, and by following our natural gifted talents that we know we have, you know, and like it's not easy. It's freaking hard work every day. It's finding the
Whether
right
you're
motivation.
gifted or not, exactly.
Yeah, like you need to know whether you're naturally talented at something, and then you need to know if you have any skill in that talent, or if you want to put in the work to become
Know
more
what you're
skilled at
missing.
it.
Know what you need to learn. What you're lacking.
Yeah, for sure.
Do your research, like everything.
Man, thank you guys for being here today.
Honestly,
I'm like this, sweating.
Yeah.
Thanks for
This
having
is
us.
fun. This is all the
was
time.
fun.
This is all the time. By the way.
Yeah, you guys just witnessed a normal
Meeting.
of
As
a
normal,
meeting.
because I know we're recording. I know I can't crack that many jokes. You know,
And then
so.
normally at the end of the meeting is when I go, all right, guys, let's focus and put dates. And everyone starts like, their eyes get
With
loopy.
glitch.
So our hour and a half meetings are always only 20 minutes of actual meeting.
But it's okay,
That's
because
where the
like,
magic
you need the
happens.
creative process.
Exactly. Because we still get shit done.
We still get shit done
We still get
at
shit
the end of the
done.
day. Yeah, man, but I'm really happy you guys are able to come. Give yourselves a shout out. Oh no, they're about to start cutting the grass.
Someone's jamming.
Give yourselves a shout out so people know where to find you, where to follow you.
At
The face.
Sam Lugo.
With two M's.
SAMMLUGO.
Where?
On Instagram. Do not find me on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I'm
Twitter?
not on YouTube.
Do you have a Twitter?
Not on Twitter. Although I would love to get on Twitter because there's so many moments that I think are so funny, and Twitter's for that, I think. But it's not gonna happen. I don't have
Do you
time for that.
TikTok? Do you like TikTok?
Who?
TikTok.
TikTok. Honestly, I don't know. Should I get into it? Somebody yesterday
I don't know.
live
I
asked
don't
me
know.
about
a
it.
What's your
successful
TikTok?
TikTok
You have a
creator.
TikTok?
Like honestly, if you what we did yesterday,
You know who
like,
should
if you
get
would've
into
saved that-
TikTok? Kevy Kevs.
Oh my God,
Oh my
Kevin!
God.
What does he not do? Let's call him right now.
Right now, Kevin Kevs. We're
Oh, that's
calling
your
you
phone.
out.
I'm so sorry.
Watch. He like hits us
My
up and
screen.
goes like, guys, I'm already famous
He's probably.
on TikTok.
I think he already does have it though.
Where's my phone? Where at the
Well,
It's
yeah.
somewhere.
Sam Lugo at Sam Lugo on Instagram. JP.
So my social security number is,
Oh my goodness.
and my
Yeah.
home address is. If you want to send any fan mail, any
It's P.O.
Bye.
Box.
That's my cue. I gotta go.
No, I just have Instagram. Like honestly, social media is so hard for me because like I don't
It's a
know,
struggle,
man.
guys. My life
I don't
working with these
know.
two is literally a struggle.
Yeah, because we're
Like-
like introverted. We're not.
Yeah, I
we're
don't
not
know.
about the gram or putting ourselves out there.
No, even though you post more than I do.
I
Honestly-
do because
But
I
you do.
get
No,
work.
I know
You
you
put more
said this
than I
was no. This was your What was it? This was your resolution to do more. So
Last year,
And I
yeah.
said the same thing last year. And I did even less than last year, probably.
Like, you know what's funny is that I always put the year it is, right? Like, on a 3-part post. Like, I did 2019 last year. And you could legit do,
Scroll down to 2019.
two swipes down, and it's 2019. So, that says a lot. I have not posted a lot this year.
No, for me, it's not even just posting. Just I need to see people's posts. Like I just on the explore page looking at me. That's Instagram for me.
It's for pure entertainment.
But no,
I love
not
it.
anymore. So because I was
Not
already,
anymore.
I already
It's
said it. I
over.
already said it. So in all seriousness, my Instagram, because that's all I have. I don't even know my Facebook password. If you look at my Facebook, I have baby pictures. Because I was a baby. I was a baby. My MySpace is probably still. I'm kidding. No. And my Instagram is jp.vzzn for vision. And yeah.
And depending on when you hear this, it may be something else.
No,
'cause
this
he
is it. This
changes
is
his
it.
name.
This is the last one. This is the last one. Honestly, no, I got so tired of being like, and my name for Instagram is JP dot
Vagina.
like like I couldn't do that anymore.
That's hilarious.
It's you
I
know
like
it's
the
just,
new one. I
yeah.
think it's cool. JP Vzzn.
Honestly, like with the story from there is just like, you know, like
This is not your podcast right now.
Okay, you're right.
He wants to co-host.
Bye.
Just let him co-host. It's fine.
No, I want to co-host. That'll be fun. I could just come to your other
That'll be
meetings.
fun.
And then I'll just like...
All right, guys, we're gonna leave this up to the listeners and watchers.
Yeah.
If you want JP
If you want me to
co-host,
distract from the conversation at
please
any point,
comment on whatever it is that you are listening or watching, or
there's-
just DM.
I can't. Yeah,
Wait,
do
why
Be
don't-
like, we want more JP.
Actually, no. You got my
Oh.
PO box. You can mail me. That's perfectly fine.
What about me? Who do you guys want? JP or me?
I will distract from any topic. Like, what's more important? You want to keep this going? You want to talk, or
What's
do you
more
want to
important,
have?
the topic or JP?
Yeah, exactly,
distraction?
exactly.
Come on, let's be real.
Actually, I don't want to do it anymore.
See, I distracted her
immediately.
so bad that she doesn't want to do it.
Anyway, and then you can follow Unmuted Brand as well to see like all the creative things that we're up to.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Unmuted Brand Instagram becomes more active when we actually have events coming up. So,
But we need to be better with that.
yeah, we definitely need to be
All of
better
us.
at that.
Our anniversary though.
Our anniversary event is coming up in February. We're planning something special. So please stay tuned for that. The Unmuted Instagram is at Unmuted Brand.
My
That's
stomach's
it.
growling.
If there's anything else, like anything you heard from this conversation, like please
questions?
continue the conversation with us. Like,
Yeah.
For
You know?
real, when you hear these things, when you see the posts, when I start promoting more posts of visually what's happening, comment about the conversation because that's the whole point of what we're doing. We want to start new conversations around
Exactly.
what we do.
If you DM me, I'm probably not gonna see it. So
If you DM me, I will respond.
I will respond if it's like, not about
valid.
collabs, about me getting likes and followers. I'm kidding. It's literally happened so many times.
I know. Every
But,
time he gets a DM with a job, he screenshots it and sends it to me to see how he should respond.
Nicely. What do you call
Like
it?
this.
No, but like I feel like we talked about so many things that like if anyone, and I'm not
Yeah,
sure if people
yeah,
talk like this all the time, but if anyone wants to continue this discussion with us or aligns with something,
Or if you want us to talk about more
Exactly.
things in future casts.
or you want more episodes of
maybe
Unmuted.
they should submit our questions. Like they should submit questions that they have
I
for
like
Unmuted,
that.
and then we have another podcast.
Exactly.
Because Unmuted is ever growing.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, what questions would you like Unmuted to answer? I'm pointing at the camera for those of you listening.
Please, valid questions. Yes,
What
I'm
do you
single.
mean? What? Every question is valid.
Please, valid questions. Yes, Sam, it's
Okay,
single.
I'm gonna take back what I just said.
What if by the time
I
you
didn't see
listen
that
to this, you're
coming.
not single?
Tune in to my podcast with Sonja.
For more personal life. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna have a podcast just with Sam. For those of you that know, she's my best friend in real life,
No,
Real
no.
life.
outside of work.
For those of you who don't know,
For those of you who don't know this, and we're gonna have a podcast so you can get to know more about the real Sam. Whatever that means.
what's the real Sam?
We don't know. We're gonna figure it out. In
Your
that
mom.
episode. Your mom. Yo, mama. I can't.
Takes off a mask.
And if JP wants to have a podcast about his life, we could do that too.
I'm just gonna comment. I'm just gonna comment.
I'm
He's
putting this
not
out there
single.
into
He's not
existence.
single.
He is not
Never,
single.
never. Yeah.
And what was I gonna say?
The
Oh, I
lines
forgot.
are
Lost
ever.
the train of- Oh, my goal is to interview every single dancer that is active, whether it's break dance, commercial dance, freestyle dance. I don't care. If you're an active dancer that's influencing the community, I want to interview you.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And I'm gonna be there.
And JP's gonna pop up
To
from the back
distract
like,
you.
hey,
To
guys."
distract you.
Anyway, thanks for
What?
listening. This was an almost 2-hour podcast.
Wow, the best
Yeah.
one.
I
The
gotta-
longest one yet. It's like, I gotta go, I gotta eat.
I need to
Thank
go
you
eat.
guys.
Honestly, I've been holding my pee
Thank you.
for so long.
Thanks, Sonja.
Bye, guys.
Let
This
me
is
do the
me
sign
signing
off.
out.
Oh, my God.
you're
Okay, so the sign off. Basically, remember to subscribe on YouTube to Dance Biz Cafecito. You can also follow on Spotify and Instagram to Dance Biz Cafecito again. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you were able to get a lot of valuable information from today's episode.
Don't forget the offer code.
Stay tuned, DMJP, for the offer code that was given in secret throughout. Thank you. Bye.
Peace.